I tried to told you. I tried to told you. I got a feeling. I got a feeling, children. I got a feeling the LA Rams is going to the Super Bowl. All right, y'all, welcome back to Splack Pack Sports. I'm sure y'all checked out these games, and both of them, went down to the wire. They ended in completely different ways, but both of them were excellent games, barn burners to say the least. So we're going to start off with the 49ers and the Rams, because that's the one I made my prediction on last week. And that's the one I'd really like to talk about because let's go ahead and get a little bit rolling to see what's going on with this, just so we have a little bit of something in the background so y'all can see while we're doing our recap of what happened. I'd like to say that I correctly predicted the game. However, a lot of what went on with it, I was a little bit off in my analysis, and so I'd like to give a big shout out to my man Chex Limino, who was in the comment section, who called me out on a few of my takes. And the guy's astute, a real NFL fan to say the least. And it's always good on YouTube to see some real fans. It doesn't have to get chippy. People have their opinions, and we can argue them like real fans and agree to disagree and not really look at each other as adversarial in the process. So everyone wants to say that being online and on the internet, it gets very toxic, but every now and then you find great people that you can connect with. And so I just want to tip my cap, salute that man, because a lot of the takes that he had, he was really on point with his analysis, and quite frankly, the game could have went either way. And if it wasn't for what I predicted, Jimmy G, which would come up short in the end, which he did, but really the game he played up until then, he played his game. Ding and dunks, every now and then hit you with the long pass. He was really playing a really good game, quite frankly. So I was actually pretty impressed with Jimmy G today. But I assumed that Matthew Stafford would come up like the franchise quarterback that he is, and when it came down to it, he got that ball into the hands of the lethal weapon, Cooper Kupp. Ooh, that boy was on fire! He was on fire today. What do you have, 11 catches for like 142 yards? Dude showed out. Really let you know why he's the number one receiver in the league this year. And you had to look at that guy and just say, primetime performer. What are you gonna say about that dude? He played like an MVP today. That was some outstanding stuff. The score was a little lower than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little more high scoring, but what are you gonna do? You got the 49er defense, and those boys are just nice. But while we on it, we got to talk about that boy Deebo Samuel too. Come on, man. In the losing effort, that cat went wild too. Showed why he's probably the second best receiver in the NFL this year. But that game, it was back and forth till the end. It looked for a while like the 49ers were going to go ahead and take that and put it out of reach. But that dropped interception was really what stopped their momentum. Had they gotten that interception, I think this whole game could have really taken a turn for the worse for the Rams. But once again, they dodge a bullet. They show some intestinal fortitude. They man up. They show some guts and grit when it mattered. And I was very impressed by what I saw out of them. And McVay, obviously he had Goff before, but now he has Matthew Stafford. And so this guy really has that stud QB. And so when it comes down to it, that's really all that matters. We're seeing these these highlights here, and like I said, this game was really good. To be honest, this whole NFL postseason has been, wow, it's been wonderful. And one of the things that I've been having problems with the last couple years in sports is, as I'm sure you all understand, is wokeness creeping into it. You got all this BS signage in the end zone and all these social justice blah 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 messages that they're putting on these commercials. It's like they're just ramming stuff down your throat, and it's like the American people don't want to see this stuff, man. We want to come and watch some damn football. We want to see some men get on that gridiron and matriculate that ball downfield, damn it. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for all that other stuff. Sports has always historically been in this country the thing that brought us together. So putting a wedge in between the American people, I'm just not for that. I don't think it has any place in our sports lexicon at all. All of this division that they're trying to push for us. I mean, it's games like today and last week to actually probably to a greater extent is why we watch the game. It's why they play the game. It's what brings us together. It's what gives us one of the things that gives us a cultural identity and makes us see each other as neighbors, as Americans, as one nation under God. And so being able to sit back, watch these games, and really take in some good old American football was really good today. But I'd like to say once again, I called it out. Not that it was that difficult of a call out, because after all, I mean, the Rams, they had a better record all year. They're playing in their home field. I know the 49ers came out, and it was crazy because I was driving down Santa Monica earlier today, and I went down a couple bars, and I heard people just screaming. I looked over there. Every bar looked over. We were screaming 49ers jerseys everywhere. And they got to step they football game up. They got to step their football game up, especially if the Rams mess around and actually win the Super Bowl this year. Come on now. Y'all got to come out and support these cats. I mean, because they're giving their all. They have a great team right now. Probably going to be favored to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to hold off to give my pick on that one because I want to do a little more deep dive analysis and get into some matchups. I might even reach out to my man Chex to see if he has some insight that he'd like to share. I have no problem throwing up some of those insights because, I mean, that guy obviously has his finger on the pulse and understands the game very well. So it's people like him that challenge me on my positions, and so I always like to get information from as many sources as I can, because I don't like to go into anything half-cocked, and why not have as much information as possible? It's like a closed mind. They say a closed mouth don't get fed, but a closed mind gets fed even less. I mean, you have to be able to look at all the data, analyze it well, and be open to positions and opinions that you may not have thought of yourself, and to incorporate that into your data set and put forth some honest, accurate analysis, not just fanboy, not just rooting for whoever. You want to go ahead and get some good information. So it's people like that I really like to listen to and hear from in order to help guide my, I'm going to do my breakdown and go into deep dive, but I always want to hear some other opinions so I can bounce it against what I'm seeing and see if they have some valid points, so I can get the best possible breakdown and analysis and predictions, not only for myself, but to put on the podcast so that other people can see how I've gone about looking at the matchups. All right, so that's going to do it for the 49ers and the Rams. So we're going to go on to the second game, which, come on, bro. This one right here, this thing was damn near over. They were down by 18, but they got that boy Joe Burrow. The man got chili cold ice water in his veins, and he took these Bengals. These guys were last in the league 3 years ago, and now they're going to the Super Bowl. This is only this cat's second year, and after the first year, people were damn near ready to write this guy off. But big game Joe that chili cold ice water. I mean, that man, the game was pretty much out of reach, and that dude just came down like cool as a cucumber, came through like, I don't know what y'all tripping on, but this game is far from over. Let me show you how I get down. There's a reason why I won the national championship with LSU and did that thing for the boy, Coach O, Ed Ogeron. I like the way that boy talk. He got that Cajun accent. He sound like, yeah, boy, I guarantee. You know, he guarantee that championship down there, boy. So I really like Joe Burrow, what he did today. I mean, he put the league on notice, letting them know that regardless of what happens this year, regardless of what happens in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl, that boy right there is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if he can stay healthy, ooh, sky's the limit for that guy. I mean, we might be talking about him the way we're talking about Patrick Mahomes right now. He's already got some weapons. He's already got poise. Obviously, he's got an arm. I mean, this guy right here, sky's the limit. If he can just stay away from that injury bug, he's going to be all right. I want to cut this video short because tomorrow I'd like to give you my breakdown on the NFL coaching carousel and see what's going on that front. I'm obviously from Minnesota, so the Vikings were the team I grew up rooting for. So I'd like to give the inside analysis from some of the people that I know. I actually have a few friends who work in sports in the Minneapolis area on local radio and whatnot. So I'd like to get a little information from some of those folks and see how they're feeling about the potential that could be a blockbuster hire for the Vikings. And I also want to talk about those Las Vegas Raiders and the move that they seem poised to make, because these are some interesting hires if they go through. And so I'd like to get into a deeper analysis and deep dive on what's going on with that. But for right now, I'm not going to hold y'all up too much further. I just want to say, let y'all tomorrow with the NFL coaching carousel breakdown. All right, now, y'all.